Welcome to the Super Sunday. Yes, it's a Super Sunday. We will tell you the reason a little bit. So, this is a continuation of the talks we had last Sunday. How many were here last Sunday? Okay. Is anyone here for the very first time? Okay, thank you. Welcome. So, I'll try to do a quick revision of what we discussed last Sunday, and then continue to today's topic. So last Sunday we were discussing the importance of initiation or diksha in ISKCON, the process of initiation, the need of initiation. We read from Srila Prabhupada's purpose where he said that during the time of initiation, a disciple surrenders and Guru accepts the disciple, and the disciple submissively asks some questions to the spiritual master or Guru, and in this process the disciple is enlightened and his journey begins. We talked about the formality, also the rules and regulations within our society for taking initiation. We also discussed Hari Bhakti Vilas from Srila Sanatana Goswami, where he said that without initiation, any of the devotional service you perform is useless. So those were kind of I would say a chapter of where you want to get inspired, feel inspired to take initiation, or if you have already taken initiation, understand the meaning of initiation. Today we are discussing a different subject. So initiation means, we discuss Diksha. D means Divya Gyan, Sha means Shapyati. So it's a Sanskrit word, combination of two syllables, Di and Shakti. So this means the beginning of divine knowledge. In English is initiation. You initiate something, right? We begin a process or begin a journey in our life. Thank you. So today we are reading from a small book. It's a very beautiful book. It's called The Nectar of Instruction. How many of you have this book at home? Yes, so 70%. Those who don't have, please take one today. It's just probably reading around 100 pages. Very small 100-page book, and just 11 verses, but very important. This book is written by Srila Rupa Goswami, as you can see on the cover page, Srila Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. And the Sanskrit name is Updeshamrit. That means it's a concise form of instruction. Usually we see the books are very bulk and large, but this is a very concise form of instruction. And it has a very deep and important meaning to each of us. May you be a new practitioner, or you have been practicing from last 30, 40, 50 years. This book is still relevant to every one of us. So today we are reading from text 5. So I'll just read the translation for your limited time. One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged in worshipping the deity. One should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service, whose heart is completely devoid of propensity to criticize others. So there's a very nice purport to it. I highly encourage you to go home and read it. So Srila Rupa Goswami talks about 3 categories. Maybe you can lower down the volume a little bit if that's possible. too loud. So there's a talk of or a description of three devotees here, three category of devotees. The first category says a devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. So Rupa Goswami, yeah, it's okay, thank you. So Rupa Goswami says that anyone who is chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna, we should at least mentally offer our obeisances. So if you know a devotee, a lot of devotees here, if you know a devotee who is chanting Hare Krishna, when you see them, you should mentally at least offer them pranams, going down. Then he says, one should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, which means diksha. Diksha usually refers, as we talk, mantra diksha. In ISKCON we have first initiation and we have second initiation, right? So this is someone who has undergone the second initiation or Brahmanical initiation and who is engaged in worshipping the deity. So if you see a Brahmana, what you should do? Physically pranam, right? Bow down. And then the third is one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and who is devoid of criticizing anyone. So this is the Uttama. So in technical aspects, these three category of devotees are called Kanishtha, Madhyama, and Uttama. So lower, Madhyama, middle, and then Uttama, higher. Now, why do we need to categorize devotees? First of all, what is the need? Right? It's like devotees are devotees, right? We believe in equal rights. Yes, everyone should be associated, right? We should have the dealings with any and everyone with the same kind. But no, Goswami clearly says you associate with devotees based on their standards. So a devotee who is chanting the holy name of Lord, they are still respectful, to be respected, at least mentally. Then a devotee who is worshipping the deity, like Brahmanas, pujaris, you have to do pranams. And a devotee who is advanced in devotional service, who is devoid of any delusion or criticism of anyone, and always engaged in thinking about Krishna, we should serve and associate with such devotees. That opens up the gate of our discussion today. So, in ISKCON, I'm talking about what we do. In ISKCON, we receive initiation from our initiating spiritual master, and majority of the cases, the initiating spiritual master is also instructing spiritual master. So the guru who gives diksha also gives shiksha, right? Usually that's what the norm is. But going into the technical details, we can only have one initiating spiritual master, right? So you can take initiation only once. Usually, exceptions are okay, but in our normal way of life, you only take initiation from one spiritual master. Yeah, if he is no longer on the planet or something happened wrong, then it's a different story. But we usually take initiation from one spiritual master. Prabhupada was once asked that what if someone wants to take initiation from, let's say he took one initiation and he wants to take another initiation from someone else. So Prabhupada said that means he has been cheated, right? You don't need to go to two gurus to take initiation. So that's one. So you have one person in your life who is your initiating spiritual master, who is also one of prominent instructing spiritual master or Shiksha Guru in your life. But there are more than one Shiksha Gurus. There could be more than one Shiksha Gurus in your life or in everyone's life. So as you know, the initiating spiritual master is a person, is a human being. We believe that initiation, it has to happen from person to person, right? That's our belief. And we talked about, if you remember last Sunday, about the Vani and Vapu, the instructions and the body. So you can serve your spiritual master in two ways, or associate with him in two ways. One is Vapu, with physical presence. You can pay pranams, you can wash his feet, you can cook for him or her, and do everything that's needed. Wash the clothes, take them around, whatever. But a spiritual master, if he's a person, he is only located at a one physical or geographical location. If the person sitting on another part of the world wants to serve him, what one should do? So they follow the instructions of the spiritual master. That is called serving the instructions or Vani of the spiritual master. So that instructions can come from more than one person. And the criteria Srila Rupa Goswami mentioned, one of the criteria he mentioned that they should be fully devotional unto Lord Krishna, and of course they should be chanting the holy name of Lord, because that was the Kanishta. And Madhyama was initiated and worshipping the Lord, and then Uttama. So whoever is the Uttama has already been doing the Kanishta and Madhyama thing already. Now the question comes, the need of instructing or Shiksha Gurus, instructing spiritual masters or Shiksha Gurus. And our parampara that you see, probably when the darshan opens, you see a picture of 5 persons at the lower part of the altar, right? So you have Srila Prabhupada, then you have Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, then you have Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, then you have Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and you have Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, and so on and forth. Then you have 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. So this parampara that we have has been formed or has been put in a place not on terms of initiation. Yes, there were some instances like Srila Prabhupada was initiated by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he was not initiated by Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. Right? So our entire parampara is, when you go up in the Bhagavad Gita, you will find the parampara as well. If you open the Bhagavad Gita, going up to all the way up to Vyasadeva and Sri Krishna. So our parampara has been formed in the provision of instructions. So, which means that an instructing spiritual master is, if not more, is equally important as initiating spiritual master. And Srila Prabhupada confirms that in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where there is a description of Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttamadhikari. So that clears the ideology of having more than one instructing spiritual master. So the next question comes, who can be the Shiksha Guru? Right? We heard one definition here, but when Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked that who is a devotee of Lord? What are the characteristics of a devotee of Lord? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, who chants Krishna's holy name only once is a devotee of Lord Krishna. Right? And then another time he was asked, who is a pure devotee of the Lord? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, who always chants the name of Krishna. So this gives us some picture. Chanting is one of the criteria of having a selection in your instructing spiritual master, but there are other instructing spiritual masters as well. Let's say you have a temple commander. If you're living in a temple or associated with a temple, then there's a temple commander who instructs you, teaches you something, how to clean a table, how to mop the floor or vacuum the floor. Or you have a pujari lead who is teaching you how to, do the arti 4, 2, 3, 7, and chant different mantras, Om, Tat Vishnu, Param. So these are also referred as instructing spiritual master. What is our duty to them? Our duty to them is also the same, offering them obeisances, respectfully honoring the instructions that are imparted to us, and following the orders or the request that has been made through. To prove this logic of Shiksha and how powerful it is, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling to the southern part of India during the Chaturmasya, and he came to Sri Rangam temple. And there was a Brahmana, or there was a devotee of the Lord who was sitting at the gate of the temple, and he was reading Bhagavad Gita. But the way he was reading Bhagavad Gita was not very accurate. He couldn't pronounce the words properly like how Pandits do. He couldn't read or sing the Gita in proper meters, right? So there's a meter to sing or recite the verses. There were no meters, there were grammatical errors. But when he was reading it, the tears were flowing from his eyes. The Mahaprabhu asked, why you are crying? And he said, my spiritual master instructed me that I should read Bhagavad Gita. And I just see that, I only think about one scene that Krishna is present in the middle of the battlefield and Arjuna is at his feet and he's giving the instructions, and he has become the charioteer of the warrior or the Arjuna. So thinking this, I'm just appreciating the kindness of my Lord Sri Krishna, and that's why these tears are coming. I cannot control. So this is the power of instructions. We discussed this in, I think, last Sunday as well, that when a guru instructs or gives some instructions, along with those instructions, you also get power to execute those instructions, right? In ISKCON, we have a program that's called mentorship program. We don't have an existing structure here right now, but that would be coming in few months or weeks, Krishna willing. So under that program, you have choice to select a mentor based on your social status. Let's say Prabhu is a single male. I hope you are single, right? He's married, okay. Sorry. So anyone who is a single male, they can choose a single male or a married couple or whatever. There's a devotee, let's say Prabhu is a brahmachari, so he can choose a brahmachari based on his status. If there's a married couple, husband and wife, they can choose a married couple, right? So in that mentorship program, so there's a mentor and there's a mentee. So mentor is a person who works or who plays the role of one important instructing spiritual master. So the role of the mentor is, of course, to make sure the mentee is okay, established, the progress is okay, the health is okay, whatever, etc. But the main role of the mentor is to make sure the mentee is doing a proper advancement in their spiritual life. So as we said, initiation is not the goal. Sometimes devotees, when they get initiation, they say, "Oh, that's it, I'm done. That's all I had to do." Initiation is the beginning. So when one gets initiated, one is empowered first to chant the holy name of Lord, and of course chant different mantras that are given at the time of initiation. So that means you are powered, or you are connected with what? The parampara. You have been put into the channel of parampara, direct coming from Lord Krishna, and you did some promises at the time of initiation. Yes, sir, I will chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Yes, sir, I will follow the four regulative principles. Right? So those vows you keep throughout your life. Maybe next life, God knows. So, yes, so initiation starts your journey. That means it's the beginning where you want to become serious and you want to adapt the process of seriousness. And once you accept it, the progress is also twice or 10 times faster than if you are not initiated. The reason being, you have blessings of the entire parampara. When one is initiated, they are blessed by the entire parampara, including the initiating spiritual master, to execute devotional service. Right? We should not go to a spiritual master because my head is hurting, or I want to have 10 kids, or I want to drive, I don't know, what's the most expensive car? Whatever. Rolls-Royce or God knows what. So we go to a spiritual master to inquire submissively about the spiritual knowledge. Who am I? Kiyami, what is the goal of my life? That is what Shri Rupa and Sanatana Goswami asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when they met him. And that should be our mood as well, that when we see a spiritual master or a person who is more advanced, we should ask, how can I serve? What should I do to advance myself or become more serious? Or I relish the chanting of the holy name, or how can I be more serious in reading the scriptures? What kind of service I can do to develop my faith, my devotion to Radha Krishna? What should I do? These are the kind of questions when we go to assembly of devotees we ask. And the mood is important. Tadviti paripatina pariprashnena seva. So paripata means submissively. If the questions are asked in a challenging mode, they do not help. Those questions don't help anyone. when Shukadeva Goswami was narrating Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj asked lots of good questions to Shukadeva Goswami when you read Bhagavatam. And at one point, Shukadeva Goswami says, Barihane te prashna. I appreciate your questions. You are asking great questions, O king. And every time when you hear, when Parikshit Maharaj was asking the questions, he would say, Mahabhavo. He would respectfully address Shukadeva Goswami. So that is our parampara as well. We come in a parampara where instructions matter more. Like Srila Prabhupada, who is the preeminent instructing spiritual master for the whole ISKCON. No one can replace Srila Prabhupada or surpass Srila Prabhupada in ISKCON, because he is the founder Acharya. That is one thing. He founded this society where we are comfortably sitting in, trying to associate and gather some knowledge. But he also instructed all of us via his books. Maybe Srimad Bhagavatam, 12 cantos, thousands of verses, maybe Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Devotion, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and many other books, Krishna book. So Srila Prabhupada's position in ISKCON is that when we aspire to initiate, or when we aspire to take initiation, our first duty is to accept Srila Prabhupada as spiritual master and read his books, follow his instructions that he has written in pages. And then when we mature at a certain point and understand that I can now understand the logic of Krishna consciousness, and I'm willing to accept a spiritual master, then we look out for a spiritual master who is favorable, or I would say who you like. It is also said, there's a nice book, there's a compilation of book by BBT, it's called The Guru and Disciple. I'm not sure if you have it here, but in that book there are lots of extractions from different books of Srila Prabhupada based on the relation and importance and the need and the process of guru and disciple relationship. So in that book, there is a section that says that when a disciple is willing to accept a spiritual master, he tests his spiritual master. Now, how can you test a spiritual master? The test is based on the Shastras, or what Rupa Goswami said, that he should be always thinking of Krishna and devoid of any criticism. And at the same time, the spiritual master will also test the disciple before initiation. How, where, when, that's subjective. We have a beautiful course in ISKCON nowadays, which is a mandatory course if you want to do it. If you want to take initiation, it's called a disciple course. How many of you have done the disciple course?
I'm doing it.
So those who have not done it and who are initiated already, 20, 30 years ago, please do it. It's an online course also. If you cannot do it in person, there's a nice online course available. You read about the position of Srila Prabhupada in ISKCON. You understand the position of your spiritual master in ISKCON. You understand your roles and responsibilities as a disciple. It's a very nice course, gives you first-hand knowledge of what is required to be a disciple. So Prabhupada says disciple means discipline, right? It's very obvious. So that discipline comes from association of various devotees. There was one more verse in this book itself. There's, Rupa Goswami is saying what kind of association you should have. Adati pratiganati guyamakshati prakshati bhumte bhumjate chaiva. So you give gifts, you accept gifts, you reveal your heart in confidence with a devotee, you hear the instructions, bhumte bhumjate. You invite devotees at your home for prasadam, and you go to their house to honor the prasadam. So based on these dealings, you can serve the instructing spiritual master as well. Today we have a lot of things to cover. We have 20 minutes. Anutama Prabhu, would you like to speak about marathon for 5 minutes at the end? Today, as I said, there's a Super Sunday. Anutama Prabhu will give us some more details about that Super Sunday. We also have, Prabhu announced a little while ago that devotees in Bangladesh, they are going through some challenging situation. Probably everyone knows. So today is a day where we have been requested by the devotees in Bangladesh to pray for them. So today is when we do Aarti and Kirtan, you can offer your Kirtans for their protection and their well-being. We will chant 1 round of japa as well. You can offer that for their protection and their well-being. And when you go home, when you do worship, your own personal worship, you can also think about the devotees in Bangladesh and pray for them. Bangladesh was very inseparable part of the Gaura Leela. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled in the current Bangladesh when it was part of India. And many of our acharyas, they were born in that part of India, and they established lots of preaching in that part. It was still Bengal, people would speak Bengali there. So it's an inseparable part of our history, Gaudiya history. So it's important that we try to maintain whatever we have left there and keep our ties with that holy land. I want to give probably 7 minutes to questions, since this topic is a little intricate. We talked about initiation, we talked about Shiksha, we talked about how the Shiksha Guru has to be respected as Diksha Guru. And the selection of Shiksha Guru on different criteria, what kind of Shiksha Gurus are there. In technical terms, there are 3 Gurus. Initiating spiritual master, Diksha Guru, instructing spiritual master, or Shiksha Guru, and there is third, it's called Patha or Vatha Pradarshak Guru, which means person who shows you the right way. There's a very nice story, I think I recited that story a few months ago about Bilva Mangal Thakur. And Bilva Mangal Thakur, he was a great Vaishnava. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would read his writings every day. Krishna Karnamrita is a very famous book. In the first verse of that book, Krishna Karnamrita, Bilva Mangal Thakur says, I offer my respectful obeisances to Chintamani. Chintamani was a prostitute, but she showed him the right way. way of renunciation or the way of God realization. So the first verse he dedicates to Chintamani. So even in our life, this might have happened. Like Srila Prabhupada was brought to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur by a friend who forced Srila Prabhupada, like, you must come. You must come and see this spiritual master. He's something different. And Prabhupada was like, no, I know these sadhus. They all are same. So that person, the friend of Srila Prabhupada, was a guru who showed him a way. It might have happened in our life as well. We had a guru who gave us a book and we are here, right? Or a family member who was once in any ISKCON temple or was once in any part of ISKCON's program, and they said, oh, these people are nice, and we are here. That is also third category of guru. There is a subcategory of initiating spiritual master, or I would say initiating spiritual master is a subcategory of Chaitya Guru. Chaitya Guru, the Guru residing in our heart, Krishna as Paramatma. He expands himself in the form of a spiritual master. So they are both correlated. Sri Krishna, who is residing in everyone's heart, he expands himself by his costless mercy as the spiritual master in the external manifestation. That's why every morning we sing Sakshad Haridvena Samasta Shastrai, right? The Guru has to be worshipped as good as God, because he Sakshad Haridvena Samasta Shastrai Ukta Satha Bhagavata Yusab. So he speaks what Sri Krishna said. That is the criteria. If a Guru comes and says that I am God, then he is not God. That is the Srila Prabhupada was once, it's a nice story, very aligned with that. So there were, in early days of ISKCON, when Srila Prabhupada, devotees were new, they did not know a lot of things about philosophy, and so some of the devotees were like, oh, Srila Prabhupada is God. Srila Prabhupada is God, He's God. And Srila Prabhupada was so angry on those disciples. Then he asked them to leave the society, and they were sannyasis. It's a big story. I don't want to take a lot of time on it, but again, Srila Prabhupada was kind enough to accept them back, and he corrected them to make sure that they understood the lesson. The spiritual master is non-different from God, but he is not God. It's called Achintya Bheda Veda Tattva, being simultaneously one and different. So we have 5 minutes. Does anyone have any questions? Any question that could benefit, if not you, maybe the person sitting next to you.
Yes. Please accept my humble obeisances. I have a question. You mentioned that one should refrain from criticism. But now, currently, what's happening in Bangladesh, our ISKCON devotee is jailed, and they are doing atrocities on our Hindus or Sanatanis. Now, if you don't condemn them or criticize them, they are going to get over us. Just like what has happened in our Mahabharata, become small Bharat, and we are still reducing. So how would you explain to that?
So this happened, same thing happened when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was present during his Bhaumya Leela, when he was present on this globe. And Bengal at that time was ruled by Nawab Shahs, Muslim rulers. And in Mayapur there was a controller named Chand Kazi. You can read it in Chaitanya Charitamrita more about it. So Chand Kazi also stopped the chanting of the holy name. He broke one mridanga, which is still in Mayapur. When you go Srimad Sangam, you will see that broken mridanga still there. So he stopped chanting. Anyone who would chant the holy name of Lord, the soldiers would come and kill that person. That's what he announced. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what did he do? He asked everyone, you come on the street with one letter, right? And all we do is chanting of the holy name of Lord. So they marched from Shiva Sangam. So if you go Mayapur, Shiva Sangam is very close to our ISKCON temple. From Shiva Sangam to the palace of Chandkazi. And they marched. And Chandkazi, seeing the number of devotees on the street, he got a little scared. But even before that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is not different than Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna and Narsimhadev, he appeared in a dream of Chandkazi, or maybe it was not a dream. He appeared to him and sat on his chest with his big nails, and he said, if you stop my devotees from chanting of the holy name, I will rip your heart off. So that Chandkazi, he opened his eyes and could see some marks on his chest. He said, these guys are serious. so he, after that, no one opposed the movement. Now these things are, yes, the list of devotees is very painful to see, but is part of a political agenda that's being brought upon. I work very closely with India Communications, so I know the in and outs of how the governments are dealing. So what we should do is, we should do what works good in the favor of devotees. Like devotees in Bangladesh, they don't want us to go on the streets and march. Our GBCEC requested that at this moment, they have requested us to pray for them, and we pray for them. Probably the day when they ask us to go on the streets, we will do that as well. But we follow the instructions from our authority. Right? So we have been asked to pray. It's not a good thing. I mean, we all accept the fact that what they are doing is not right. It should not be done. But at the same time, we have to see what are the ground level situations. Like the current West Bengal is very close to Bangladesh. So and there are hundreds and thousands of devotees in Bengal. They could do anything, but we have been asked to restrain ourselves, especially from commenting in media or doing anything on the social media. At the same time, we have been asked to hold programs like today we are holding. We will offer our kirtan at the end of the day to Bangladesh devotees, and we will chant one round. So that is what we have to do now. When the situations escalate, we will wait for instructions. Does that answer your question?
Partly. Not 100%.
Yes.
I didn't get the answer about criticism.
So the criticism has to be, whenever you criticize someone, it has to be healthy criticism. If you simply say, oh Prabhu, look at your dhoti, you always wear a dhoti, wrinkled dhoti. So that's a negative criticism. Whereas you can say, so Prabhupada asked us that we should dress very nicely. Make sure our clothes are clean, nice and dirty. Maybe I can help you if you need some help, or I have some dhoti spare. So that's a healthy criticism. As far as Bangladesh situation is concerned, our criticism wouldn't matter. It's a very high level of diplomacy that on an individual level we cannot get involved. On a community level, yes, you can get involved, try to make some noise, bring some media, go to your MPP or MP and try to push him to make some statements. But that thing, it will make the situation worse. We have been asked to restrain from doing that, so that's what we are doing. On an individual level, you are free to do whatever you can. But on an institution level, we follow code of conduct. We follow what is the need of the moment. The need of the moment is we pray. So that's what you have to do. Avoid anything that harms them, because they are at the ground level, not we. We can do anything from here. We have freedom of speech. We can say, we can do everything we want to do here, but the devotees who are on the ground level situation, we have to respect their opinions.
My only, I'm confused about this thing that happened. Like, I'm constantly thinking, like, how did those devotees talk to the government who were doing this nonsense? Like, how did they talk with them that they ended up in the jail? And what did they say that they ended up in the jail? Like, that's what is concerned. Like, I'm kind of understanding that.
So things have been developing from last. It's a geopolitical situation.
It's total political thing.
It was developing probably, I would say, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
Few things were there, and escalated. And when things changed in the regime, in the political order of Bangladesh, some people got some freedom, and they used the freedom to suppress some people. And if someone is suppressed, either they stay down or bounce back. Some people bounce back, and when they bounce back, the government didn't like it. What is in for us, that is what we need to do, what we need to learn. In for us is we respect our local, and actually Prabhupada was also, I'll try to quickly finish this. Prabhupada was also asked that these political leaders, like Prime Minister, President, who are they, why they get to rule us? So Prabhupada said that they are technically, they are not the Raja Rishis, saintly kings, but somehow they are the ruler, right? So it is also our duty to support what our ruler is saying. That doesn't mean people like Chand Kazi, when they say that you stop, you stop. No. So you follow your religion, you follow your practices, and at the same time support whoever is the local ruler in whatever respect you can, and stay out of political situations. This is not for sane person. These situations are not very easy to handle, especially as the spiritual sadhakas. This is something we don't get involved too much. Our focus should be how we can improve our life, take a lesson, intensify our sadhana, intensify our prayers and our japa, so we can not be in such situation, God willing. So thank you very much. I will give the mic to Anuttama Prabhu so he can speak about the Super Sunday. 2 minutes. So 2 minutes.
Hare Krishna. So we have a goal across the world to distribute 4.2 million Bhagavad Gitas. And one of the ways where we fight with the material energy and ignorance is the distribution of knowledge. And by preserving this knowledge, we'll be able to explain this to future generations. So we encourage everyone that we'll have Bhagavad Gita on the altar, right? So those of you who don't have Bhagavad Gita as it is or want to gift it to someone, you're welcome to take Bhagavad Gita. And also, Srila Prabhupada has painstakingly written all these books. Prabhu talked about Shiksha Guru. So Srila Prabhupada is a preeminent Shiksha Guru for all of ISKCON. So we must all have one copy of all of Srila Prabhupada's books in our homes. I myself do that, because then we can propagate this knowledge, read it, and expand it and share it with others. Because Srila Prabhupada spent time at night translating these books into the English language and other languages we have available as well. So please come and encourage us and take this mission further and further. And even this week, I distributed a Bhagavad Gita to a person at work, and I took a risk, took a book here, gave it to them. And people of all backgrounds, Muslim backgrounds, Christian backgrounds, they all take our books, because we want to focus on the universal spirit soul and sharing that with others. So after the program, please come and see. And also, we're not here to just distribute Bhagavad Gita, but we also have classes on Bhagavad Gita, as you have on Sundays and also on Fridays. So we're not just, take Bhagavad Gita as it is and keep it at home. No, you bring your Bhagavad Gita with you, and we all read together and go towards Krishna. Hare Krishna.
जगन्नाथ स्वामी बलदेव मधुसूदन